Hello, and thank you for tuning in to Embracing Budgets. My name is Rochelle, and in today's video, yes, as you saw by the title, we're going to be going into our October budget with me. Y'all, it is finally October. It is pumpkin season. Now, I know some people start pumpkin season in September, because that's when they call it fall, but I like to enjoy my last few days of summer. I'm not even going to sit here and lie to you. I like to enjoy the last few days of summer, but when fall comes, that's when it's officially pumpkin season for me, because I got my little pumpkins right here. So if you would like to see how I'm budgeting for the first month, official month in the fall season, please keep on watching. All right, so as always, I have my budget book here. This is the Erin Condren Petite budget planner right here. And I'm just going to flip on over to October, as you see here. And I'm just going to focus in just a little bit. I will focus back out in time, okay? All right, so here we go. As you see, I have my income listed up here of $2,978.25. And I have my main expenses listed here. They're pretty much fixed. My household expenses are pretty fixed usually for always, pretty much, unless it increases or decreases. Of course, as you guys saw last month, my electric bill increased from like $80 up to $93.95. And also my Comcast bill, if I'm not mistaken, I think that was for my phone bill. I can't remember if it was my phone or my internet, but I was on a promotion plan, and it went from $45 to $73.23 right here. It would be a little bit more than that if I did not do a direct not a direct deposit, if I didn't do an auto plan. So these two Comcast bills are on auto pay right there. Then of course we have State Farm right there. The state of Georgia, earlier this year, I believe back in March or maybe even in April, throughout the state of Georgia, all insurance went up also. So I'm now paying $164.53. I have gas for the month of $60. And of course, then I have my subscription services. Let me take that back down. Then I have my subscription services, Netflix. I have the Kindle Unlimited. I have my Patreon, and also the Kevin Stage studio streaming service. I have that, and I also have Showtime and Paramount Plus. That comes to $11.99 right there. I think I'm going to be canceling the Showtime and Paramount pretty soon, because I don't watch it like that. So I will be canceling that pretty soon, okay? But all those expenses come to a total of $1,475.60 with that all, okay? And of course, I have my rent here where they increased it by a little bit with the service charge for them to take my money, which is, I have my opinions on that. I think it's absolutely ridiculous, but I digress. I know some places pay more than that. I actually found out that a friend of mine, she actually pays like $15 a month, $15 a month for them to, for her to pay her rent, which is just, oh my goodness, that is crazy to me. That is absolutely crazy to me, okay? All right, so we have our savings that I did last month. As you guys know, that my savings challenges videos, I actually plan out what I'm going to save for the next month. So you guys will be getting that video pretty soon for this $296. But I also do the zero out challenge, and I actually only zeroed out $8.25 from my paycheck budget. But I also did before my paycheck budget of $5.20 4 cents, and I did nothing from my bills account because it evened out perfectly. And I only do that usually. I try my best to only do that minimum once a month, but it evened out perfectly because I took exactly the right amount out this time. Okay. Alrighty then. Okay. Then we have, of course, my groceries or food money that I take out, and cash that I take out. I have changed up my budget just a little bit. Instead of it being $150, I did $200 for groceries, $40 for eating out, personal, $20, and miscellaneous, $10. Let's say $20. Yeah, $20 personal and miscellaneous $10, which comes to a total of $270. Okay, and I added this one thing down here. I have a wax appointment coming up at the end of the month, which will be $55 with tip. Okay, now here is the difficult part when it comes to my budgeting that changes up every single month. Okay, so we have all of my charge accounts right here. I have American Express, 2 Capital Ones, 2 Chase cards, and a Sam's credit card. Not the charge card, but actual like MasterCard credit card, okay? Then I have my charge cards, which is Sephora, Amazon, Lane Bryant, and Ulta. Now, I will say I did pay off Ulta. I paid off Ulta, but of course, as soon as I paid off, what did they do? They have their 21 Days of Beauty sale. And I got a couple of things. Now, I will say, I'm going to be totally transparent. I did buy a good bit of stuff, but when I was like, girl, you doing it again. You done cleared this debt. You done cleared this debt. And now here it is, you charging up the card all over again. Return some of this stuff. Return the stuff that you just want to play with and you know good and well that you don't need right now. So I did. I ended up charging like 200 and it was like $220 something, $230 something, but I actually ended up returning like 119 of it or something like that. So in the end, it was considerably less than what I ended up going to end up paying back. Like I only end up charging in the end after return. It was like $108 or something like that. So I'm pretty proud of myself because usually I'd be like, I don't like to return stuff, whatever. No. I have a goal. And I'm going to meet that goal. Period. Okay. So let's go ahead and fill in the debt portion, shall we? Okay. So for American Express, I think the minimum due is like $64.23 or something like that. But so I ended up paying and sorry guys, I was budgeting and getting like the average minimum due here. So that's why I'm scratching out and putting in the real amounts. It's going to be messy in this video. I'm sorry, but just got to do what I got to do in this video, okay? So I'm just going to write it out here on the side. So I ended up paying, deciding to pay $70.33. Let's see here. Minimum due on my Capital One, my largest Capital One account, and minimum due is $214, but the total balance in the end, it's a really, really high amount, but I decided to pay a little bit over than that with $216.56. Why? Because I think like the end balance was like $616.56, so I end up paying $216.56. That it just makes sense. Crazy enough, I don't owe anything for Capital One in my small Capital One account because a side little trick, and I don't know how often you can do this, but side little trick is what I did is that when you request a change in due date, I don't know if you know this, if you request a change in your due date on any of your accounts, usually it takes about 60 days for them to do that. But when they do that, usually you owe, when you do that, that first month, it won't be changed, but that second month, they're preparing to change it. And when they do that, you don't owe anything for that month. So this $75 right here, I actually don't have to pay that this month. And I've actually allocated that money to go on other bills. Well, some of that money to go on other bills. So there you go, okay? Then we have this Chase card right here. This Chase card is the card that I don't owe any interest on it right now. So I'm actually paying $60. I'll just change that because it's just neater to change that right there. I'm paying $60 on this Chase account right here. Now, the second Chase account, I'm actually only going to pay $58.40. I'm paying only $58.40 because when I looked at the account, of course, I like to do, when I pay my accounts, usually I like to make the numbers on the end even and clear so that way, like say next month when I go to pay on the account, what they're of course, doesn't make sense, but it makes sense. What they're going to be charging me in interest will be a flat, even amount instead of it being something like crazy, like $677.82. No, $670. Let's just call it even, right? Okay, so for Sam's minimum due is $65 a month, but I will be paying $65.38. I'll just add 38 on the end right here. Okay. All right, so let's go down to the charge cards. Now, I will say this. I did pay off my Amazon also, but I ended up charging a couple of the things back on there. Not a lot. I am learning now how to spend responsibly. And it's a bit of a thing when you're emotionally, when you're not okay emotionally, you're just trying to fill that void. And I can't say I have been doing that lately, but I will be telling you guys about that more later. But I am learning how to spend responsibly now. So that is why on my Amazon account and also on my Lane Bryant and my Ulta account, even though I paid off Ulta, I rarely put anything on Lane Bryant. And Amazon, I paid off down my Amazon account. That's why now these balances are really, really, really low because I don't want to get into more debt. It's like buy what you need within reason, keep a budget within reason with my spending, because I've never had a spending budget per se, but now I'm learning to have a spending budget when I need certain things. So if that makes sense. I know I probably went around the world with that one, but hopefully it makes sense, okay? Okay, so real quick, with Sephora, I am paying $66.88 because I think the minimum due was like $65. So yeah, I'm paying $66.88 on Sephora. On Amazon, if I'm not mistaken, my full budget with Amazon, full balance with Amazon was like $58.21. So I'm only paying 38. It sounds weird. I'm paying 38.21. No, actually, it's more than that. It's much more than that $58. It's actually $118.21 because I just purchased something else on Amazon. So that's why I'm actually paying $38.21. So the next couple months, I'll only be paying $40 or $50 each. So I could go ahead and pay off that account, okay? Lane Bryant is another account where I actually have like a really low balance on this. I ended up charging like $91.38 onto that account, but I'm paying it off. I want to pay it off in 2 months. So I'm actually paying $46.38 on this account. So that way I only owe like $45 next month, and with tax and everything, I mean, well, not tax, with interest and everything, it should only be like $46, $47 with the interest for next month. And then of course we have Ulta right here. I am going to be paying $35.40 because my remaining balance after this, also crazy enough, will be just $80. Yeah, because I think it was like 115, 118, 115, 40 or something like that. So I actually got it, like, I actually took back a lot of stuff because it was over $200. It was over $200, and I took back over $100 worth of stuff. So it's like I learned my lessons. Like, Rochelle, like, for a lot of stuff, like, I really didn't need it. I just wanted it. And it's like, Rochelle, you still have a lot of makeup and a lot of skincare and cosmetics and all that. So it's like, okay, stop, take it back. You're okay. Okay. All right. So we're just going to add this up really quickly.
All right. So we have 70, 33, 216, 56, $60, 58, 40, 65, 38.
So a grand total of $470.67. And then we have the charge cards here.
56, 88, 38, 21, 46, 38, and 35, 40, which comes to
a total of $186.87. Okay. And I'm actually going to change this up for personal. I'm going to take that personal money and use it on my wax appointment at the end of the month. So I actually only need another $35 with that one. So right there. Okay. So real quick here, I am going to just add all of this up really, really quickly and make sure it all makes sense. Okay.
Then you have 270, 470, 67, 186, 87 plus 35 equals 900. That equals $962.54. Okay.
Okay, so to break down everything, my income is $2,978.25. My household expenses, including gas and we'll say transportation and subscriptions, is $1,475.06, which leaves me with $1,503.19 for the rest. Then when I add in my debt, food, and other, that will be $962.54. So I'm taking that from the $1,500 that's left. And then when I take the savings for my savings challenges on out, which is $304.25, that means I have $326.40 remaining for my sinking funds available. So 36. I can't believe that's horrible. So actually I have 200 for my sinking funds and 36.40 for my $36.40 for my buffer. Okay, so should everything work out perfectly, actually, you know what? You know what? I just made a decision. I'm not taking that out. I think I'm going to switch my appointment to the beginning of next month and take that at a next month's budget. So, and I'm only going to delay it by a week because my appointment is My appointment is like the 30th of October, so that's not that bad. So I could delay that by a week. I just feel like I want to have just a little bit more in my sinking funds this month, because I have been neglecting my sinking funds, but I also have been abusing my sinking funds just a little bit. Yeah, so actually I have a total of now that I've taken that out. Now that I've taken that out, I now have a total budget of $271.40 left. So I'm actually going to have $250 in my sinking funds, and I'm going to have $21.40. I'm going to have $21.40 for my buffer, and that is enough because I have everything coming out of all of my bills coming out of my bills account, and the only thing that comes out of my other account, my spending account that initially I really and truly don't use, as far as like me swiping the card. I don't swipe my card for that account, but the only thing I have in that account, coming out of that account, is one subscription service that I have, one of the subscription services that I have, because it's through the Apple Store, I think that's what they call it. It's one of the subscriptions for, if I'm not mistaken, I think the Showtime and the Paramount Plus. I have that coming out of that subscription service, out of that account, because it's on my iPhone, if you will, okay? But that is it. That is all for my budgeting for the month. Usually I would go over some goals for the month also, but I would say like the one goal that I have is to incorporate some much needed self-care this month. Next one is to get on a routine, and then the last one is to get out of the house. Okay, and some people will say, like, what does that have to do with you financially getting on board? If my finances are not in order mentally, emotionally, I'm not in order. If I'm not mentally, emotionally in order, and I'll talk about that in another video, because that has been hitting me a little bit financially also. If I'm not in order with my self-care, with me having a routine, with me being able to get out of the house without spending any additional money, then this is when all of this goes awry, and I will not be mentally, emotionally set to even want to have a budget, and I will suffer in that aspect, and that's not a good thing. That's not a good thing at all, okay? But that is it. That is all for this video. I thank you guys so much for watching. Please, if you have not already subscribed to my channel, well, baby dolls, I don't know what to do. Go ahead and hit that like button down below and hit the subscribe button right on after that, because, well, you know you gotta like me just a little bit, right? I hope so. Maybe. Okay. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.